Hi, Mandolin here. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you're proceeding forward on your journey. I hope that there's some wonderful things coming up for you. Today we're going to talk about awakening. This is a subject that came to me and I feel that it's very important. We just had a butterfly come by and bless the message. So I searched and I read a lot of definitions and most of them were similar to my own. Spiritual awakening to me is an evolution of your consciousness. Now, most of the others didn't say evolution, but that's something that I just know to be true, and that knowledge does come from a higher level of consciousness. There's a realization that things are just different, and then that makes you want to understand what's changed. That change is in you. You've just reached a point of awareness that allows you to start seeing the bigger picture, what I call the tapestry. You also have physical signs, and they can range from a change in the foods that you eat to heightened psychic activity to low energy at times. You're on the path to learning your soul's journey. From there, you discover the steps to begin to refine your energy. You begin to develop the experience that is best for you. There are things that might be uncomfortable at times, but the beautiful, sacred journey is the experience. Those discomforts, they become treasures within that journey. How can a discomfort be a treasure? Because it's a catalyst for growth and healing. So, how do you know that you're experiencing awakening? Things can be different for different people, but the biggest thing is that you notice a different. You see things in a different light, from a different perspective. You feel a desire to find answers to some of the mystical questions. And then again, there are the physical symptoms. It's interesting that a lot of the concepts that we talk about in awakening, I also seen in the indigenous and ancient religions and belief systems. I did a video called The Right Things to Do, talking about when the Cherokee prophecy, the Pale One, when he returns, if you want to check that out. ScottJeffries.com, 10 Signs of Spiritual Awakening, and there's many more, but this seemed to be a good round one, and I'll put a link. Your behavior spontaneously begins to change for the better. You're experiencing a deepening of your emotional wellspring, more aware of the emotions. You're slowing down and reflecting on your past to understand the present. Your priorities and values are shifting from material towards spiritual concerns. I had to leave that job that I was in 2012. I couldn't survive in it, and the material didn't matter as much. I went and lived literally off-grid, so to say. No power, no water, ate what I grew and what I could forage, and I was, Eddie would hunt at the time, and so I was very careful. I wanted only natural things to enter my body. Your inner world is becoming a primary aspect of your life experience. What's happening within you becomes the most important thing. You're beginning to hold the tension of opposites together within you. Those things that contradict within yourself, it stops being so much of a struggle and more of something to look at and evaluate and examine. You're experiencing a growing sense of okayness and inner freedom. You're willing to be honest with yourself and take personal responsibility. You're making new lifestyle decisions in alignment with your moral and spiritual values, and you may see those starting to change. You're realizing your interconnected nature with all things. That's kind of like the law of one. And some that I've added, empathy and intuition, when you're speaking to people, increases, especially you don't notice so much the words that a person uses as you do the feeling or intention that's behind the words that they use. You get to where you can't stand to be around negative people and negative behaviors and situations, gossiping and petty arguing, or you'll hear somebody just tearing somebody else down. You realize and you embrace the sacredness of life for me, I stopped begging every night for God to not let me wake up. I would say, God, please let me go to sleep. And if I go to sleep, don't make me wake up. I'm tired of doing this. And then during my awakening, I started to realize that it's such a special gift, that I'm here for a reason. You start living in the moment more. Breaking out in a dance in the middle of the grocery store. I was known for that. And you start becoming more of your authentic self. And that is partly because you start discovering what your authentic self is. You're going to go through the dark night of the soul. It's part of awakening. In the dark night of the soul, you feel completely disconnected from God or divinity. I apologize for the helicopter if it's really loud, but I'm close to Marine Corps base. You become aware of that disconnection from the divine, but then you start to realize as you work through this that was all an illusion. That was part of something that you had to go through. You start working through traumas, through grief, all of these things. They come up and you peel away the layers, and you start to see the purpose that they served in your life and in your growth and in your journey. You've got to go through these dark times in order to be able to see the light that's within you and its purpose, because that's part of what builds and creates what you are. Physical signs. These are from lonerwolf.com. I liked the list, and there are more. So I, again, encourage you to reach out and do your own research. You may come up with something different. I may not touch on one that you're having. Amplification of sense. Heightened awareness of the five senses: sight, hearing, taste, touch, smell. And you might also realize that you're very sensitive to electronic devices. That's something that I discovered. Some people even affect it. You discover food intolerances that you never seem to have, like new allergies, especially to wheats and nuts, spices, things like that. Changed sleeping patterns. I would go 3 days on 3 hours of sleep and I wasn't tired. You might experience insomnia or be woken up a lot during the night. Vivid dreams. You'll think these dreams are crazy. They'll seem very vivid or just really scary and bizarre sometimes because you don't understand where they're coming from. Dizziness. You might feel lightheaded, and again, I made a video on grounding. You probably need to ground because you are having more experience with higher frequencies and higher vibrations, and your frequency and vibration is probably rising at times. So go back and check out the grounding video and get help on that. Make sure you ground. Weight change, gaining or losing weight. And it may have nothing to do that you can connect to lifestyle or eating habits. Changed eating habits. What you once liked, you might no longer like. A lot of people start to experience less of an appetite for meats. Some dairy. I see people cutting out sugar. Some of it is physical awareness, and then some of it is just that they lose the taste for it. Fluctuations in energy. You may feel tired a lot. Your body's going through a lot. Try to be kind to it. Decreased immune function. You might get sick more often, and then it'll increase where you hardly ever get sick or even have a sniffle. Okay, those things were from lonerwolf.com. Things that you can do to help. You can meditate. I did a video on meditation. Look back on that too and see if you can find your method. Or sometimes just sitting and letting things fall into your awareness. That's a kind of meditation too. Spend more time outside connected to nature. That helps you. We're part of this tapestry, and you do have help. You have guides. You have some people call an ascension team. Reach out to people in the community. Reach out to people in this community. I'll put an email, and you can comment, and you'll see other people in the community too as you start to search and look for answers. Laugh, dance, spontaneous joy. Connect with your community. Your community online, dealing with this, your community just to be around people and a chance to share that love. Volunteer to help people. If you can't volunteer, just acts of kindness. You'll be surprised how wonderful they make you feel and how far they go in helping your growth. Practice gratitude. Be grateful for the experience that you're having, even if it's the rough times when you don't feel good or you're just confused and looking for answers. Be grateful, because that is growth. And at the end of that growth, which I don't know if there is an end, I'm definitely not at the end of my growth yet, but at the end of that growth, you'll see how far you've come and what a beautiful process it was. And slow down. Slow down. Give yourself a break. You've got time. It'll be fine. Okay, all of those things I will put links up, and I ask you to bear with me just a second, because this is something that I came across that I wrote a while back, and this is part of my awakening process. And it related, I was getting communication from Eddie, which he's been such a great help, and we were always on the water, always on boats, fishermen's and all. I ended up titling it Whispers of Memories. I see a moment coming into focus like the smoke as it swirls and rises. I feel that moment embraces me. Poseidon, Neptune, the things of dreams hidden by the veil. They come through blurred and out of focus, but the smells return. Good feelings return. The emotion returns. The moment exists in a haze. These moments are different essences of you. They hold the imprint of your choice, your love, your pains. They hold the realization of your divinity. They do not invade, simply a gentle brush to say hello. Do you remember me? Do you remember what we accomplished? Like an oyster makes a pearl, we found that piece of grit that had made its way into a place that it didn't belong and caused pain and irritation. We took that piece of dread and we layered it with love, understanding, compassion, forgiveness. And in that time, we learned what that piece of grit was and where it had come from, what experience. And at the end of the examination and nurturing and correction and realization, we had a pearl, a thing of beauty and success. All of these pieces of grit, I have made a beautiful necklace. And as we graduate or ascend or elevate or uplift or evolve, we wear it with pride and a sense of accomplishment. It catches the light that comes our way and reflects it back out to the world. This is what we have been doing. This is what we are doing. All of our experiences and lessons have been a pearl on a beautiful strand. We carry them with us, but refined. If a memory makes you afraid, then try to make it not afraid. And I hope that helps you. I'm going to stop bending your ear. Like, subscribe, please share. This is an important and timely message. I have been getting that communicating these things is more important because we're going to start seeing more awaken. Leave a comment or get in touch with me by email. I love you all. Have a beautiful day. Just keep the gratitude for your journey and know that you're not doing this alone. I love you all so much, and I'm so honored to be touching people. Thank you for being a part of my journey, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.